Hello, everyone! Whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, we appreciate you spending time with us today on Indie Game Club. I am Michael Zytkow, your host and founder and executive director of Potions and Pixels nonprofit based out of beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, which today probably was a little less beautiful if you're in the area. You know, we had some historic flooding for this time of year, so we're all trying to stay dry. I'm trying to keep it casual with the Cookie Monster grill glasses combination going. I'm super excited to be back. We took a couple week break right here, and are excited to come back at you with some indie games. So we're gonna do it a little differently this week. We're gonna go straight to the conversation and straight to introducing these amazing people that you see here. So let's jump straight to it, and then I'll introduce the 5 games that we'll be talking. Let's start with the man straight above me, Mr. Alonzo Cunningham. Alonzo, can you introduce yourself to the universe, please? Love it. I'm super excited. people might recognize you from one of the earliest events we did 3 months ago when we did Black Voices in Gaming. So I'm glad to get you here on Indie Game Club. I know we've been talking about it for a while. As is tradition, as everybody knows, if you're a regular follower of Indie Game Club, let's clap it up for our guests as they introduce themselves. Alonzo, welcome to the show. Love having you, my friend. All right, let's continue going down that top row there. Angelic Layla, can you introduce yourself, please?
And just streaming with the Athena goddesses as well.
Awesome. Let's clap it up for Layla. Thank you, Layla. Good to be able to talk again. Uh-oh, can't hear. I think I just adjusted some audio. Guys, I'm a little rusty. I don't think people heard Alonzo. I'm so sorry. I'm messing.
Yeah, I was about to say that none of the guests were. I was listening on the website and we couldn't hear the guests. I could hear you.
This is the type of professionalism that you can expect when your boy Cookie Monster is at the helm. Maybe I'm a little too relaxed today. So let's run that back really quick. Thanks, Darcy Mobile. I think what the issue was when I was actually changing the batteries for these headphones, it switched the default device for desktop audio. So my bad about that. Hey, everybody. My name is Michael Zytkow. Thanks for coming out to Indie Game Club. Really appreciate it. In case you can't read lips and you didn't hear, this is the point where I put the glasses on officially. There's always got to be a moment that triggers it, and now it's officially that. I am. It's getting real. I'm biting that bottom lip. It's getting real. It's getting real. I don't even know what that means. What am I doing? Welcome to Indie Game Club. My name is Michael Zytkow.
This is not the late night session.
This is the late night session.
You'll wait until after.
Let me unzip the Cookie Monster outfit here a little bit. Believe it or not, I am a founder and executive director of the nonprofit. You might not be believing that based on my outfit and the content, but we try to keep it somewhat professional here, somewhat. We're super excited to have you all here with us today, whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. Let's just run it real quick back to my man Alonzo up at the top there. Alonzo, tell him real quick who you are, organizations you're affiliated with, all that good stuff.
Okay, cool. So I'm a part of Set Play and New Challengers. Set Play, I host a gaming session weekly, nowadays online for the most part. And then New Challengers is our tournament organization. That's probably the biggest tournament organization in North Carolina and like surrounding states.
Let them know.
So I've been doing those things for about 2 to 3 years, and other than that, I'm just like playing games and trying to get up with Michael and these guys whenever I can.
Love it. Let's clap it up for Alonzo. Thank you so much for being here. Legend, I love how you said we need to get Courtney over here. I'm about to pull Courtney in. Let me see which ones. It's been a little while.
It's been so long.
Courtney's back, y'all. Let's see. Should we do this one? Let's do this. Let's do this photo. This is our.
How do I see that? How do I see the stream? I don't even know.
Yeah, bust that stream out over on.
I don't know how to see the stream. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, pull up the stream. We have our 7th guest here, which is also a game reference. If anybody can catch that, anybody 7th guest. All right, let's just roll by that.
No, maybe like Derivative.
Derivative knows what I'm talking about. Thanks, Derivative. Give me a digital high five here. 7th guest might have been the reason you got a CD drive in the mid '90s. There, for those nerds out there in the world that want to Wikipedia it real quick. Layla, I hate to make you introduce yourself again, but if you can hit him with that introduction, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, I can practice now. I had time to. Hey guys, it is Angelic Layla. I'm happy again to be back here at Indie Game Club. I missed it a whole lot. You can catch me on Twitch and Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Angelic_Layla. I do modeling. I've been doing some more cosplay. I'm also a stream team goddess from the Athena Alliance and also an ambassador for the game Hers. But pretty much, yeah, that's all I got for you.
Yeah, and thank you. Layla was on a recent episode of Voices in Cosplay where we discussed the whole world of cosplay, and you can check out some of those latest Halloween, those fierce Halloween photos you put out there. Definitely, folks should check that out for sure. Let's clap it up for Angelic Layla. Thank you, Layla, for being here as always. We really appreciate it. All right, finally on that top row, Derivative. Let them know who you are.
All right, I'm Derivative. I am a champion of the overlooked and underrepresented. That's what I focus my stream on. I've been streaming for the last 3 years. I just celebrated my third last week.
Love it.
And I'm glad to be back. I'm glad I got invited back.
we
didn't scare you with the games I suggested last time.
I love that, how you were like unsure. I think what's funny about that Derivative is that like Derivative really is like the king of the obscure. Like if you think, sometimes I put my nose up a little and I'm like, yeah, we're doing indie games. You might have not heard of these. Derivative's like, hold my beer. I'm going to find a game that only me and the designer have played. And it's I absolutely love your channel. So everybody who's watching right now, make sure to check it out for sure. Let's clap it up for Derivative. All right, let's go down there to the man who just recently came on video, Xavier. For folks who are longtime listeners or watchers of Indie Game Club, they'll recognize you from the very first Indie Game Club episode. Hit him with that info. Let him know who you are, Xavier.
All right. I'm Xavier. I stream as Nomad0x. That's usually my gamer tag for most games as well. I am the founder of an organization called Full Time Geeks. We concentrate on highlighting local events and organizations and businesses that deal with the geek and nerd culture within the Charlotte area. Definitely trying to expand to other areas. This is our main concentration, and we're just here to help expose, great organizations like yours, Michael.
I love that, man. You're too kind, and I love you and your organization, all the awesome work you're doing, man. Appreciate you being here so much. Let's clap it up for Xavier. And last but certainly not least is the Athena Alliance goddess of indies herself, Legend of the Star. Legend, let them know who you are and where they can find you and watch you and everything.
Hello. So I exclusively play indies on my channel. I'm one of the stream team members with Layla on Athena Alliance, so it's really cool. I love it. I love it here. You guys can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Legend of the Star. Pretty easy to find. And fair warning, it can get a little messy. I die a lot. I have technical difficulties quite often, which I just fix on stream. I don't even be right back for it. I just do it. So you'll enjoy it. It's entertaining to say the least.
For sure. I love watching your stream. You highlight a lot of amazing indie games. I also love how you constantly like have a notebook out. You're writing notes and jotting thoughts down and everything. It's a lot of fun. So.
Always.
Absolutely.
Always. You have always
Yes.
Yeah,
right
dude,
there.
Like, I got stickers in here. Like, I decorate the pages.
I love it.
Wow.
So, good. I'm getting better at it. It's made a huge difference, honestly. Like, I even have a page where I just scribble stuff on there. It's so helpful with my memory because it's so bad.
I hear you on that. I hear you on that for sure. Let's clap it up for Legend of the Star. Thank you so much for being here. I love it. Awesome group of guests. So we got 5 amazing games that we are going to be discussing, or maybe amazing, maybe not. You'll find out based on the opinions of our amazing guests here. But before we jump straight into it, I think we could get a quick question from our 7th guest here, Courtney. If you're a longtime watcher, we have our little American Girl doll friend, which I'm still down to get. You know, I've never done one of those things where I'm like raising money for like a specific, you know, to get something on stream. But if there is one thing I need to raise money for, it's like I want to get this American Doll so Courtney can just be like sitting on my shoulder and like talking indie games with me. So Courtney's got a quick question for you guys before we go indie. We're gonna go mainstream for a second here, and obviously we got some big news rolling out that we have some new consoles. If you haven't heard of. You know, there's a new thing called the PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. So, before we go, we're gonna. I think I'm getting a little. Okay, I think I'm good now. Any thoughts? Oh, good, Alonzo, you're forgiven. That's strike one, my friend. Strike one. 3 strikes and you're never invited back on Indie Game Club. New policy. I'm fucking tired of 2020. I have no more tolerance for this. The only one who can screw up live on stream is your boy right here, which I do often. I'm on strike 47 right now, if I'm counting. Real quick question for you guys. What are your thoughts? Are you interested in getting one of these consoles? Which one are you most interested in? And I guess the big one that relates to our topic here, how do you guys feel, how are indies going to perform, or not necessarily perform, but how do you feel about the indie community on these major platforms? Anybody want to jump in here?
I'm a little scared for it, to be honest.
Yeah? Why is that?
I'm a little scared for it. Well, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of, I get it, you know, you want to sell like big, and some of the games are like nice, but it just, I don't know, I just feel like, you know, indies are such a like a staple, you know, like there's so many really good indies out there that are console playable that could really put our genre in the forefront, and I think you're at a disadvantage when you're not using the type of publicity that you can get and the type of games that you can provide to other people, and not helping like the devs. I mean, without indies, you don't really have games, really. I mean, a lot of the games that we play now are based off of games you played when you were like,
the innovation, the new genres.
Things are too like, let's do our graphics super perfect. I don't know. I just feel like it's just getting lost in like the shuffle, and it doesn't
sound like it sounds like Legend, you didn't pre-order either an Xbox.
No, I did not. I'm okay. You guys can unfollow me. Block me. It's cool.
I don't know if you all saw this, but Xbox actually had to put out a statement on their Twitter account telling people not to vape into their.
I did.
I was waiting to see if someone was gonna say that, because I was like,
really? What?
They were vaping. I guess people were vaping inside of their Xbox to make it look like it combusted. I don't know. Like, it was really just
who's responsible for that? Was it like some Sony fanboys or something who were trying to
smoke machines and they're just I don't understand.
I don't know. I did hear
one
the
of
fan. I heard the fan is strong enough that you can put a ping pong ball on the top and it'll levitate.
That's pretty cool. I did also see that it's like the perfect square size for a GameCube as well. So people were putting their GameCubes exactly on top, which I think blocks the vent. So you're really gonna build up that smoke if it eventually does combust. But that's there you go. So you can have it as a GameCube holder, or the GameCube can be the holder of your Xbox Series X. Anybody still getting confused with the naming, like the nomenclature of it all?
It's horrible.
You know, as everybody who watches the show knows, I'm not necessarily a fanboy. I'm a PC kind of first player in general, but I'm a huge fanboy of Phil Spencer over at Xbox. So I love everything he does, but this is the one thing I'm just like, there could have been some naming differentiation that could have been a little better here. Anybody else? Did anybody go ahead and get it? I'm a little surprised at myself, honestly. I feel like you should all clap it up for me that I had the willpower to not go and get it, because normally I don't remember the last time I haven't got a console on like near day one. Thanks for that really small clap, Alonso.
I never get a console on day one because there's just too much that could go wrong with a new console. I buy my consoles the year after for sure. Like, once I hear about all the terrible things that happen for the first generation ones, I get rid of that worry about just waiting for a year to grab mine.
And dare I say, go for it, Layla. Sorry.
I've always bought, like, I've I wouldn't say a pre-order, but I've always bought the console. But I was working at, dare I say, GameStop, so I always had access to like getting the consoles whenever they were coming out. But then I always like regretted it because there weren't enough games out, or I already knew they were gonna come up with another model, like revamped model or
Yeah.
whatever. And it just became, it's like, okay, well, I have it, but I'm still playing the previous console because nothing else is out for it. Which is why I do like that for the PS5 they made it to where everything's transferable.
Mhm.
You can just like everything that you have been playing, you can just transfer right over. So I was like,
Well, and
maybe,
Xbox
like,
has done something similar with their
Yeah, they just
cloud
want to make sure. The
saves.
only problem with that is that it like people were like, dude, I'm gonna be here for days. Like I have so much.
Oh, it takes that long.
Transfer over, it's gonna take.
Gotcha.
Like,
I need to look into
I
that.
think it's more it's more appealing to me for the PS5 because I'm not gonna say always. I was hardcore 360 and then after that I switched to Sony. But now that I have a PC, it's like what games are gonna come out that I can't play on the PC?
My point exactly. My point exactly. I think my point exactly.
Yeah.
I don't see the difference. And then everyone downloads on the same day, so it's slow. And then you have those people who, they bitch about the fact that it's downloading is so slow. And it's like, well, hello, kids, everyone's turning their crap on. Like at
It's
the
like
same
people
time.
complaining in
All over
traffic,
the world,
right? People sitting in
Yeah.
traffic complaining about it, not realizing they're the traffic themselves. Yeah.
You're kind of contributing to the problem.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
just relax.
Well, what's
But, like,
interesting
now-
about... Go for it, Layla.
Go ahead. I would just say, like, now that but I do feel for, like, when I was solely just console, I was either, like, I just had all the consoles. I still think that it's, like, I think that's why console wars are so big, is because it wasn't until I got a PC, I was like, PC master race, screw everything else. Like, but people who do play on consoles or who haven't been able to get a good enough build for a PC, it makes sense to me still, because that was my problem.
Yeah.
I never got a PC because I wasn't able to get one yet.
That's a good point. From like an affordability standpoint, to get that much power for $500 or potentially less if you choose some of the lower end models, I mean, it is a really good deal. I mean, for us, I guess on Indie Game Club, I guess we'd all agree that a lot of the games, all the games we're playing today, are featured on itch.io or itch.io. I guess we can debate the pronunciation of that someday. But these games, you have almost unlimited access to a wide variety of games. And as far as the content that's there, that's the part I think that surprises me the most about this generation. I would argue that this generation has perhaps the weakest lineup of like killer apps, as they used to be called, like those big exclusive system sellers, but then perhaps also the largest lineup of initial games to play, including a ton of indies on Game Pass and a number of other platforms. So to me, it's kind of a weird situation, but there's nothing there that I feel that you can't currently get either on PC or even some of the Sony exclusives like Miles Morales. I mean, you can still play that on PS4. Yeah, Xavier, any thoughts on this? Are you waiting to, or you're just sticking to PC?
I'm not even sure if I'm gonna get back into consoles. Maybe just to collect them, but
Yeah.
honestly, there aren't very many exclusives, like you said. Like Halo was got pushed back. That's like the biggest exclusive that everyone was waiting for as far as Xbox. And like Layla said, like I have a PC, so like there's almost nothing I can't play, and I have the largest backlog I ever would have had with PC than with a console. Like with console, like every time I got a console, I don't think I ever went more than like 20, 30 games before getting the next generation, and after that I just like borrow games from friends and whatnot.
Yeah, I
Over
feel you.
PC now I have like over 600 games in my backlog. Like,
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that's really true. I like that, especially like with the amount of games you actually play on your console is probably less than what you actually like. You have so much access by just being on PC that like you're going to maybe actually buy on launch like 20 games by the time you're onto the next system.
yep.
Yeah. And we got some great comments here. Thank you. Shout out to everybody who's chatting over in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. King of the Nerds is talking about how the naming, the nomenclature of the Xbox. I think I saw somebody like joke like on a meme, like it almost feels like the way they name Kingdom Hearts games is the same style that they like name, Xbox games, where it's just suddenly all these numbers, letters, and decimal points. It seems a little ridiculous. Dartsabulba saying Nintendo seems to do it right. They just changed the names of their console, but keep it understandable. I would argue that Nintendo overall does it right, with one notable exception, probably was the Wii U. That a lot of people, I don't know if Layla, I don't know if you were at the game store that I guess we can't say out loud, or I don't know if you were working there at the time when the Wii U was out, because I know a ton of people confused it as just like an accessory for the Wii, and that's arguably one of the reasons why it never sold as well as if it was actually called a Wii 2, for example. Was that the case when you were there? Did you find some marketing confusion with that?
Actually, at my store, no. Everybody knew exactly. But our store was fun though at that time. We used to do events all the time, and like people would literally just come in and hang out with us and play games. Like
Nice.
so, that was back when it was super lax, and people were actually a community in the store. So everybody always knew what was going on. And our customers are usually regulars. So
Gotcha.
no, we didn't really have any confusion. I think everybody, for the most part, knew exactly what they were looking for. But I do know that a lot of the reasons that I heard when I was working there was why people preferred the Wii over the Wii U is that you could hack the Wii and play all the games for free. And you weren't able to do it on the Wii U. So a lot of people were doing that, and
Damn you,
still to
pirates.
this day are still doing it. Yeah, so
Or
and I guess
homebrew.
there's no fix that. Yeah.
Or homebrew, yeah,
so-
for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
the only way to play Silent Hill 4 was by downloading it on the Wii U. Otherwise, you didn't have access to not Silent Hill, Fatal Frame 4.
Oh yeah.
Only came out on the Wii U, so the only way to play it was to like break your system to get access. So
Right, because it was region locked, wasn't it?
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
Nintendo, I think, learned from with the Switch finally being completely open in that way. I guess last thing I'll mention before we jump onto the actual games. I know we talked about it a couple months ago, but the new indie console Playdate. I think most of you are familiar with this. Derivative, I'd be curious about your thoughts about this as well. But this is a handheld console coming from the publishers of Untitled Goose Game. And it's a $150 handheld console. It's not necessarily, I would say, super fancy. It's still kind of like Game Boyish color screen, like kind of that.
Is it the
like,
one with the crank?
It has a crank on it. Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
yeah.
yellow console.
What's it called?
Playdate. I think that's a really cute name. I actually really like that name. But yeah, it's called Playdate. The thing that will be cool about it is it's actually delivering games on like a weekly basis. So like when you buy it, you get like a season of like 12 games or something, and every week. And a lot of these are like from big designers like Bennett Foddy, or big designers in the indie world, I should definitely say, recognizable for the hardcore in that regard. And that's the console I'm actually looking forward to the most. And they recently did an update that they'll be starting to ship next year that unfortunately COVID, as was probably expected, put a dent in their plans. So we'll definitely talk about that more. Derivative, have you been following that any?
I'm worried about it for one word.
What's that?
Ouya.
Ouya?
Yeah.
I want an Ouya still.
I have one.
Nice.
It does. It's a brick. It doesn't do
Well,
anything
that-
because the store doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
But I had such high hopes for that. It was an indie micro console.
Yeah.
He had all these indie developers on it. I mean, it was the first console that Towerfall was on.
That's right. Duck Game as well, and several other big ones.
Yeah, and it fell apart. So I hope it's got a strong lineup because that's what's really going to need.
That's a good point. Although I think Playdate is like straight up saying like we're an indie console for like a specific audience. You know, it's like it's for like people like us on Indie Game Club. It's like, you know what I mean? They're not trying to like be like a mainstream Android console. They're like we want to get you indie folks on board with it.
Watching, they can send us some.
Yeah. Yeah,
Test out.
Panic, send us some. Actually, they liked the folks actually.
So weird.
The folks who make it actually liked that meme I made with Courtney and
Oh yeah.
so yeah, maybe we can get a copy from them. That would be awesome. Cool, y'all. Well, let's thanks Courtney, by the way. We really appreciate you. I'm sure she'll come back and have some more words for us soon. But let's jump to the first game we're going to be talking about. This is my friends, we are discussing Witchorb and Witchorb from Fantogast. I didn't actually stream myself playing these games, so I just pulled some video up of some of the gameplay. And some of the cases, the games that we're playing or are discussing today were so short, you'll actually get to see pretty much the whole game there. I really enjoyed Witchorb. I'll kind of save my opinion for a little later, but does somebody want to kind of describe what we're looking at here? What's the gameplay like, if you can compare it maybe to something else, and your general thoughts about it?
I don't know about being able to compare it to anything else.
Yeah.
But it made me want to jump off a broom.
Is that a feeling you constantly have?
Oh, good.
A little Kiki's Delivery Service feeling over here.
Yes. So when you're playing this game, you're trying to. I don't know if it's like connecting the dots, because it's not even really that. You're trying to collect all the little orbs, and then one of them teleports you into the next phase, like the next stage. And if you overshoot it, if you do it at its like, if you don't grab all of the orbs, it's just depending on which stage you're on. Pretty much you die, and it doesn't like start you all the way over. It doesn't start you all the way over. Like it starts you back at like
at the beginning of the level.
Stage.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad, but time to zoom the broom over the orb.
Yeah, the broom is basically a jetpack with limited fuel.
Yeah, that's a really good comparison. Right. And the meter, I forgot if it was whether Alonzo or Xavier I talked to that was talking about the meter. Xavier, was that you? Like I think
I didn't notice
definitely
levels in that there was a meter.
Yeah, it is a little tiny.
It's a little tiny, okay.
Maybe a lot tiny if people can see it there.
Really, I thought it was a glitch of the game when I was first playing it.
It's pretty tiny.
Yeah, I mean, so what are y'all's thoughts about this one? I loved it, to be honest. This is one of those that I felt like, you know how it is sometimes. A game just clicks with you, and it felt right. So this was that for me. I didn't feel like it was too hard. I felt like there was just enough of a challenge. I like these kind of games in general. I felt like this would make a good, Alonzo, we've talked about this, like arcade cabinet games. I feel like this is a great one.
Yeah.
I really liked it in that way. Any thoughts on Derivative? I know you had a slightly different take on that.
I did.
We love contrasting takes on Indie Game Club. So tell me what your thoughts were.
No, I mean I'm fine with those. Like, I guess the best way to describe it is like a frustration platformer. Along your lines of like Super Meat Boy or things along that line. So like I was okay with that. You get frustrated when it's like the 12th time you try to do something, which generally I'm okay with. It was the jump scares that ruined it for me.
Yeah,
like you're in the middle of like, if the level's going on long enough, you get like that, like what's like a witch's face or something that like makes a loud noise and laughs at you.
It was like a Sinistar laugh. For those of you who played Sinistar from way back when, it was like a Sinistar laugh.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought it was supposed to be like, because when it first happened the first few times, it was at the beginning of a stage out pick. But then one time it happened while I was trying to figure the stage out, and it totally fucked me up. And when that happened, from that point on, I hated the game. I was like, this is the worst.
Really?
I mean, if it was like planned timing, I would have been better with it. Like, the moment you pick the last one, they're gonna startle you. But no, it's like tied to the music or something like that.
It's so weird. It didn't seem. I didn't feel affected. I didn't think I noticed it till like at least halfway through the game, and it never bothered me.
Yeah, same here.
I started playing on mute. I started playing on mute because of that, for sure.
Really? Like it just
You said turn the whole thing off.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't.
So the whole top row was that annoyed by it? Legend, Xavier, like.
No, I liked
bothered
it.
by it. Yeah, it didn't bother me at all. I don't usually pay attention to that. I'm always caught off guard by things like that anyway. Like, so it was like,
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was a nice, because the game was kind of like a roguelite strategy platformer. Like, it was kind of like all these things sort of meshed into one, which, got a little tense sometimes. And it kind of like, I just liked how it just caught you off guard and was like, ooh, and then you're just like, oh, shit.
I don't think it's funny though that you guys even call it jump scares though, because I don't remember it being like
well, because you're trying to like focus on your the objective.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff going on. And then she just comes at you, just boom, out of nowhere.
You know what? Maybe the problem was I was just so good at this game. I think that might have been it. Guys, I think that's it. We solved it. I was just so good at this game, but nothing bothered me or was able to stop me. Right?
Did you finish it, Michael?
Oh yeah, I finished that sucker in like man, well, and like I think it was like I knocked that sucker out pretty quick.
How many deaths did you have?
Not too many. I remember. Yeah, I was pretty damn good at this one. I'm gonna say this is my one brag game. I'm gonna say for the week.
I actually stopped playing at the level where the windfall was going like down by like 2 levels.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't figure it out. There wasn't enough jetpack fuel to get through it, and then I tried to use the one on the side that like shoots you up into it, and that didn't even work. So I was like already frustrated with the game. So I was like, yeah, I'm out.
I love the wind stuff, but I could see how that could get frustrating after a while.
That was definitely frustrating, but it was cool after you figure it out. Like the mechanic between it is kind of interesting because it's like how fast you hit those platforms depends on whether it's going to help you or not.
Yeah.
So if you go through it like pretty fast, it doesn't catch you. But if you get there just right, you can just float on it, even if you don't have any like jet fuel left.
Yeah, it had a good like physics, like the momentum, the feeling there. I think felt really, really solid in that regard.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I died 299 times, but I beat it.
There we go. That's my man.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm not scared to reveal my scores.
I should have kept track of mine. I don't know what it was. The gauntlet's been set for that though. Yeah, I think people should check it out. At the time of release, it was free. I believe now it's $2.50, which I think is worth it for a game like this.
It's worth it, yeah.
Another point is that I think the game would have been way easier if I had a controller. Like I was using like the directionals on my keyboard or laptop or whatever, and it was really hard for me. But I was like, if I had like a controller in my hand or something, this would be much easier.
Did I play it with controller? Did anybody play it? I have a feeling. I mean, I think I played this like a week and a half ago.
I switched back and forth.
Okay, I think I played it with controller. So Alonzo, I think you can.
Keyboard.
Yeah, I just didn't have.
Oh, you didn't have it
my
connected.
My PlayStation controller, when it was plugged in, it wasn't working for that game for 3 years.
Whoops. My battery went out as expected here. Sorry, folks. 1 second. Professionalism.
Nope, he can't. That's right. I think he's lying about his score, yo.
Oh, I hear that.
There's too many after.
I hear the blasphemers. I read lips. I saw that. I heard you guys.
Oh my god.
It was in the thousands for sure. It was in the thousands.
I want to say I did it under 100. I might need to bring my kids in for evidence. I'm pretty sure I did, guys.
There's no way you did it under 100. Actually, it took me 80 before I was like.
Dark blue sucks.
I mean, I don't know what to say. What am I supposed to say here?
We want screenshots.
We should.
Right?
I know.
Yes.
You're gonna see me pencil in the
mulligan.
results.
You need a mulligan.
I'll have to do it live for sure. Yeah, I definitely recommend this one. I think it sounds like from you guys' perspective, some of you, it may be more of a matter of like whether you're into this style of a game. But like, did you overall like appreciate like the execution of it?
Yeah,
I
I
would
love
say
the art style.
everyone
It was
should
a
play
really
it.
nice art style.
Yeah. Yeah, something that's like really like I don't know anything about making games, but it seemed like pretty simple and straightforward. Like
Yeah.
for like the art style wise, like it was just like her character design was really cool, but then they kind of like made that character design tiny and just put like a little head on it. So it's a really simple game to like
Yeah.
kind of it forced you to appreciate it for what it is, and that's just being difficult and frustrating.
I think if there was like
yeah.
checkpoints, it probably would be a little bit more enjoyable as a casual game.
Hmm.
Like you just don't because it's just puzzles really, and like I
Yeah.
felt there was a couple of times where like I want to complete the game, but I also want to take a break, but I can't save or anything. That's what.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah,
Right,
got
yeah.
it. I totally agree with that. Like, it should have like a save because it's not a long game, but it should have some sort of save feature. I agree. Yeah, that
Code
makes a lot of
system,
sense.
like Mega Man or something like that.
Yeah, I think that.
Games need to bring that. Need to bring back codes.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. A shout out to a couple people that jumped in here. Commander Cool, how you doing, my friend? Amar is in the building, saying the All-Star Squad needs more cookies. Yes, we're gonna. You're actually gonna start seeing me, Amar, roll like this. My
Are they on Twitch? Let me start looking on Twitch.
what's that?
I said, are they on Twitch? I'm gonna start.
Yeah, I
looking
think it's
up.
on Twitch.
Yeah.
My son got an
Alright,
Elmo,
let me go.
one of these, and my wife got a Big Bird, and so I'm thinking about just like starting to walk around town just in this outfit. I actually showed up to the event where they released the game I developed, and I went to it like this, and had quite a good time. Anyway, folks, overall sounds like thumbs up for the most part for Witchorb. Definitely thumbs up for me for sure. Really,
Yeah.
really solid. Legend, hopefully we'll get her back on here soon. Derivative, you're kind of a little in the middle here.
Mean, if I muted it, I think I would have had a better time.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
See, told you, muting it.
I liked it.
One thing that I
Yeah.
did like as an add-on was I was looking through the files and they had like a bonus folder, and there was
Wow.
and there's a text file that pretty much describes how he got started with the game,
Ugh.
the art, how he drew the art, where he got his ideas for the music, and even with the music, he goes into
I love
like
that.
different pedals that he used for his guitar, the different programs and whatnot. So
That's
I
cool.
felt like that was a really nice touch. And since this was the first game I tried, after this, I was like, all right, I'm going to check all the game files. And this was the only one that had any kind of like bonus material. But I think
I
for
love
like
that.
indie games, I think something like this makes the game a little bit more, I guess, personable, or like you can forgive it more for the fact that, you know, it's not like a AAA type game, or it's not, the graphics aren't like the best or anything, but to like see the person's like struggle and method of developing this, I think that adds a little bit extra.
Totally. You're totally right. I love that personal kind of element too. I wish you would see more of that in games, like even almost like a director's commentary kind of piece, like attached to it. I love that. I thought it would be kind of cool. The graphics almost reminded me of. Do you guys remember? I don't know the technical term for this, but like they're rather rare. But several like arcade games used kind of like almost like a laser look. Like there was that kind of rarer Star Wars game that kind of simulated 3D more with the kind of the lines. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about. None whatsoever. No.
Can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah, it's like like Rich, if you're saying it is like a vector style, but it's done where it's like a simulated 3D, but it almost looks like the screen is like a crispness, almost like they're like lasers with the graphical styles. And
Testament or Test? I forgot how the name goes.
like
but I think
Tempest
it's-
looking, like
Tempest.
Tempest-esque, but I think there's
Tempest.
something behind the actual screen technology to make the whites pop out in a certain way. It's like a certain type of screen. I think that's what makes those games like so rare these days. But anyway, it reminded me of that. But yeah, that was Witchorb from developer Fantogast. And as Xavier said, you can find more information in the README file, so definitely check that out. The next game we are going to be discussing is Afternoon Spaghetti. Let me change the name right here so we can switch this up. This was an interesting one.
I liked it.
right before the stream started.
Nice. Yeah, I think Derivative, was this one you recommended, I think? It
was one that I was already playing that day.
Okay.
So kind of.
Gotcha. Do you wanna tell everybody what it's about, and then we can kind of dig into it? We'll probably have a longer conversation about the game than the length of time to play it.
It's a completely normal game about making spaghetti. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I guess we should do our traditional spoiler alert here and just let folks know that it's almost impossible to talk about this game without spoilers. And they already see the spoilers because the video is the whole game actually right here. So yeah, you're supposed to be just making some afternoon spaghetti, and then Legend, do you want to talk about what happens once you start this spaghetti making process?
You walk into the fridge, like first you go into the house and everything seems kind of normal, and you walk up to this person and the keys are a little weird because you're just like, how do I talk to this dude? And so you hit the key and the person's like, hey, I'm making spaghetti. And you're just like, all right. And it's weird because the person kind of reminded me, I don't know, for those of you that have kids, there's this Disney show where they're like shapes. And it reminded me of that. I can't think of the name. I want to say like Oblongs is something different, but it reminded me that it was just so wholesome. And then you just like sit on these little and then you open the fridge, and then the fridge like is this hallway that leads to like this art gallery. It was like the coolest thing. I literally opened the fridge and I was like, oh, like there's things in here, and you have to like go across the gallery to get the cheese, and you gotta go come back and hand them the cheese, and like,
it was very cute.
I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cute and wholesome, and I love the graphical style.
Yeah, I did. It was just like, hey, we're just gonna make spaghetti. Like, all right, cool. Like,
and then suddenly you're in an art gallery and you're reading about all these kind of like.
Yeah. Did you know your fridge is in an art gallery? Wow, it's so far away. Like, just like, whoa, okay, that's cool.
And we should say this whole game probably, I think it'd be played in about 10 minutes
10
tops.
Minutes
tops, yeah. Unless you're like me and you're just like looking at all the things and you're like doing the stuff, and then like 20 tops, but like I liked it.
Yeah, the graphical
that's what it is. Roly poly oly. Yes,
oh yes,
exactly what it is.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to the Roly Poly Oly fans out in the crowd.
Right? That was one of the few like kid cartoons I can deal with.
I love it. Shout out also to Tempest 636 is in the building. Absolutely love it. Appreciate you being here, my friend. Hopefully we'll see you soon on the show. I'd love to have you on again talking about this stuff. Alonzo, what were your thoughts about this one?
So I really liked it. I actually played the game like 3 or 4 times, I think.
Nice.
And then on my last playthrough of the game, because I wanted to like kind of see if I could see anything else, so I played it more than once.
Yeah.
My last playthrough, I thought of how cool it would be if the cheese was actually just in the door, and it was an option to go through to the other side and like look at the art gallery. I was like, that would have been funny if it was like
you
totally
could have beat it without it on that.
Like you could have missed it.
Like you could have missed that there was an art gallery in the back.
Yeah.
And the game would have just ended with you handing him the cheese. Like I was like, that would have been hilarious. They missed an opportunity there.
Well, speaking of stuff in terms of like hilarious kind of abruptness, once you beat the game, this music kicks in, which I totally loved, and then you're watching the credits, I think in somewhat disbelief that the game was that short. And then there's a moment where they flash back into the gameplay, and you're like, you grab your control keys, and you're like, oh, there's more, and then it cuts right back into the credits. So I love that.
Scare anyone else?
The music?
I was not expecting it.
It scared me. I got scared. I was not expecting it at all, and I was like, what? What the heck is happening?
Yeah, you feel like it could be a horror game.
Yeah, yep. I did the same exact thing though. I grabbed my controller, like we were
Yeah.
about to, like, oh, they got me. Yeah, no, they really got me. Was anyone else concerned at the type of cheese they were using for the spaghetti? Is that just me? I was.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah,
it?
that wasn't just me.
That doesn't look like.
Uh-oh, the food snobs have entered the building.
Putting this in. What
Tell us, Layla.
kind of cheese are you putting in that spaghetti?
What was
Disgrace.
wrong with the cheese? I want to know.
It wasn't Parmesan or like mozzarella or anything like that.
It wasn't
definitely
Bufala mozzarella? Or
No.
however they
It's like
sell
one of
it.
those things that like have a weird
It was
shell
not
and-
something I.
Well, maybe it was like one of those fancy cheeses. I mean,
They
it's not
didn't
every day you
have a
get spaghetti in the
cheese
afternoon.
You just throw the whole block.
Oh, no.
Oh,
It might have not even been cheese. It might have been an art piece.
improper
Maybe
food
we just
handling.
make it different the way that
Yeah, it
you
looked like
do.
I
You
saw
know,
it in the,
like
video. It looked like a thing of brie, which is
Yeah.
really weird for cheese.
Yeah. Actually, they said it was a brie. I
Oh,
think
did it?
it said somewhere that
Yeah.
it was a brie.
Because they made a joke, right?
yes, they did
Yeah,
make
it
the
was-
joke.
They
What
made
was-
a joke.
What was the
It
joke
was like
about
it wasn't
brie?
a joke. It was more like a pun.
Yeah, a punt. Yeah. Well, do you guys? Anybody remember that?
I don't remember.
It
but
was
I
something
remember-
like "I'll brie right back." It was something like that.
I did not.
Yeah, it
see
was-
that at all.
she was too focused on the
Legend and I love that joke. We appreciated it.
I like that.
We love a good pun.
I like that joke too.
I
Yeah,
was
hold
too
on, hold on.
appalled.
I'm trying to see if it was in.
But you had to have seen it in one of your 3 playthroughs, Alonso.
Oh, where would I brie without you?
Where would I brie without
Oh,
you?
well, that's
Okay,
it. Yes.
Okay. I was making sure I saw it on the screen first. I was like, there it is. Okay. I knew it was somewhere. I knew it was in there. So I wanted to make sure I had to go back and watch the video. That was good. Yeah, I like this game.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, I liked it somewhat. I played it 4 times.
yeah, yeah.
I did. It was so cute.
Yeah.
Xavier, any thoughts on your end?
No, I enjoyed it. When I walked through the refrigerator the first time, I thought it like maybe each like door you went through allowed you to go into like this different level. So I was trying to open the doors to see if it was like
I
Yeah.
tried that.
a
Yeah.
reality thing. But I enjoyed it.
So
It was-
my question was, why was the bathroom the next room?
yeah, I was confused about that too. And
Yeah, that was
apparently-
a little weird for me too.
And the seasons
I
were
thought it was the
different.
bathroom of the art gallery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking that too. Like it could be considered because the food is on like the other end, so technically it's not insanitary.
Yeah. Didn't
know,
the toilet have
like-
a large chunk out of it too? Like it was just carved?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like half. Well, that's
Yeah.
not uncommon.
And the weather,
Good.
if you looked outside the window in the bathroom, I think it's coming up right here on the stream. I want to say it was like snowing outside of that window versus like the initial part was like sunny or something, or maybe not. Maybe it was cloudy or something like that. But the weather
It's
seemed to be a
just a
little
half
different.
bath. It's cool. Like
Yeah,
a quarter
exactly.
bath.
I kind of like the idea of a bathroom like in the refrigerator. Am I the only
Well,
one?
because at least in the door, I think it's just condiments. So, like, technically, like I said, there's no like cross contamination.
Yeah,
like, so
that's
it's
gonna
still
be-
washing your hands. Like,
But on the flip side, no one likes a cold toilet seat.
Oh my
Oh, I don't know about that, my friend. That's my favorite toilet seat. There's no greater feeling. We should, of course, give a shout out to the developer here, Shelf. Also, at Decent Shelf is the developer. Oh God, I hope I tagged the right person here. Yeah, I tagged. I made some social media posts. I was worried I tagged the right person on here. Yes, Jobster Cafe is the developer here. Shelf. So shout out to them for sure. I think this is one of those pleasant short experiences.
oh yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
Sweet. So as we said, that's a very short game called Afternoon Spaghetti. Definitely check it out. It is free on itch.io. Does anybody say itch.io?
I do
We go back
sometimes.
and forth.
Yeah. I actually prefer saying itch.io. It sounds cooler to me, but
Well, that's how you would read it to be you're not gonna go itch dot itch io.
Yeah, it
itch.io.
just I like Itch.io. Somebody actually asked the official account like a while back what the pronunciation was, and I think they said they're totally cool either way. It's like GIFs and the godforsaken people that pronounce it as GIFs. Ugh, yuck. Am I the only one?
No, I'm the one who said I say gifts.
No, there's no open society. I know. I joke about it because I know I'm in the minority. I think am I the only one that pronounces it? Am I the only one that pronounces it GIF?
I pronounce it.
That's right. Why do you pronounce it?
GIF.
You say GIF?
Yeah, I say GIF.
Okay. I feel like I thought I was really in the minority here. So Layla, Legend, and Derivative, you guys are on team GIF?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the giraffes
I know
and
the official
guineas?
developer says it's GIF, but
That's right.
Well, that's too bad. So sad.
Actually, I've always been too embarrassed to ask, and nobody's ever corrected me. So
I
you
think
can't
Yeah.
retroactively change that.
I think more people technically probably pronounce it GIF, but because the creator calls it GIF, I feel like we need to honor his wishes. But
I feel like I've always typed it too. I don't even think I've verbally.
yeah,
You really have to verbally say it.
I love those memes that people share on social media when people like say when people type something that they clearly have no idea that they're typing, or like you know what I mean, like somebody like called somebody out for saying like check out my outfit, except they spelled it like outfit, and somebody was like that's you know it's not spelled that way, right? You know that, right? Oh boy. All right, let's jump over to our next game over here, and that is going to be Deity Driving. Let me change the text here. I think this game definitely wins the award for, as weird as it is just to talk about afternoon spaghetti and how bizarre that game is, I would argue that this one wins the award for bizarrest game of the night. Is
I
that
don't
true?
like it. It was so dumb.
Oh.
Oh,
Let's
I did not like it. I can't. I'm sorry.
let's
It
get
was
into
so
it.
weird. I thought
Oh,
like
damn.
when I first played it, I was just like, why? And then this dude comes down from the sky. I'm just like, what's happening here? It was just I don't know. I didn't like it. I'm sorry.
All right, Legends, let her.
I don't like it.
She's made it clear. Oh, Alonzo's jumping on it too. Okay. Who?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was just like, as I was playing it, I was like, oh man, I really want to go draft these other places, see what they're about. The game ended before, like I went left, I went all the way down the road and then went left, and then the game ended there when I brought the raspberry back. The game ended, and like that was enough for me. It's not that I didn't like it; it was just like there were other places I could have went. I just chose not to do it because what I did in the game on my first playthrough was enough.
There was quite a bit more to discover, I'll say. I mean, the whole
Yeah,
experience.
I
I
don't know, man.
Yeah, Layla, you want to share your experiences with it?
When I first started it, I liked the movement. I thought, oh, like it's cool because the card is like 3D. Like at first, you're just like, all right, you're moving around like the terrain. It's cool. Then like you meet up with this. That's what I thought when I first got it. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go grab some coins. All right, meet some people, like cruise the streets. And it was just so weird. Like I went down the road going after the dude raspberry because I just figured I didn't even go like the rest of it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just go after your raspberry. And then the dude comes down from the sky, and then I was just like, what? And then you had to do these and then the hand would come up and just like over, and it was weird. And there was like this weird like graphic thing. I don't remember what it was called, but it's like this small little thing that kind of looked like a star. So I drove my car underneath it, and I waited because I thought the finger was maybe going to boot me up. Like I had to touch it or something.
Yeah.
I just didn't. It was a whoa. Whoa.
You didn't like kind of the surreal. I like the kind of vaporwave 90s aesthetic. I like the music.
It had me, and then it just bombed. And I was just like, what am I doing? Oh my
That's kind of how I felt too. Like I said, like my first playthrough of the game, because it ended when I went left because I was like, I'll go left first because there's less to the left than there is to the right. There's way more to do if I go right. I went left first,
Uh-huh.
and then it took me back when the game was over. I was like,
But see, on each subsequent playthrough, there's a little bit more on there. Layla, did you play?
Yeah.
How much did you play through it all? Did you see the other?
So for this one, it wasn't letting me download it. It wasn't letting me install it to my computer. It's the only one like that wouldn't let me install it. But I was watching the gameplay on it. It didn't look too bad. Like I wanted to play it because it reminded me of. I wanted to like remember when I played Wheels of Aurelia. I was like, yay, another driving game, yay!
Yeah,
But I couldn't play it. It didn't look. It looked trippy, but I didn't think it looked like it was terrible. Like I was actually wanting to play it.
I liked the graphics. It was very like synthwave. Like I felt like I was in one of those, those YouTube lo-fi screens. The synthwave lo-fi. Like,
it's got a bit of a synthwave / like a photo collage kind of thing.
Yeah,
like a scrapbook.
Yeah, and then it was like, and then the car did donuts. Like just bam, donuts, and I was like, "Oh, that's so
funny.
cool!" And then it just went down from there.
I'll say this because I definitely want to hear Xavier and Derivative, and I know Derivative recommended this one. I really liked it. Like, I thought this was the cool thing about this game is like you had no idea what to expect, because like a lot of games you get these conventional like mechanics with like, oh, it's going to be a driving game or it's going to be this. You see like certain indicators, and this game kind of flipped those up. I won't say it's like necessarily fun in the traditional sense, like a traditional game sense where like the objectives were. Where it didn't really even make sense. So I think going along with the surreal imagery was the surreal gameplay, and so I really appreciated that part of it. I feel like the game was probably just long enough for what it was trying to accomplish, and it was just a weird ass experience. And I was down for the ride, so to speak here.
Yeah, because it didn't remind me exactly like Sewer Rave, but like the weird stuff going on is what made me want to play it, because I was like, oh, like it reminded me of that.
It's very much like Sewer Rave.
Yeah, that's actually that's a great
fun.
comparison. That is what I would compare it to as
just
well.
a lot of absurdist vignettes going on.
Yeah, Derivative, tell us what your let's also say shout out to Fangirl Review. Thanks for entering the building. Make sure to check out her channel. I think I saw the good news that you hit Twitch affiliate this last week, so congrats to that.
Congratulations.
Definitely going to be stopping by some more soon for sure. Derivative, what were your thoughts about this one?
Well, since I recommended it, I obviously liked it. I've done all 3 endings.
Yeah.
There's the you decide to basically become the deity driver. You can ignore it. And I think the 3rd one is like you go for a car wash, if I remember.
Yeah, it was one of those.
It's been like a while since I've played this game. But yeah, just the absurdity of it. I wouldn't necessarily call it weird personally. As I said, it was just a lot of there was structure to the absurdity of it. As weird as that sounds.
Break that down a bit for us. Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, Mick, you obviously had the goal of you've got to get this raspberry, but there's just a number of things that get in your way, and you're going down the road after it, and then it's like, oh, you can see there's something. You can either continue to go down the road, or you can pull off to the side and find a bunch of socks.
Yeah.
Or you do sick flips for a deity and things like that.
And see, that to me was really cool. It just like
the best part of the game, I don't know if any of you saw this. So like you start off at that. There's like that house that you start off with. After you go and you've retrieved the raspberry, if you go back to the house and you honk your horn, there's like someone who's like squatting in your house.
Yeah. There's like a song.
And depending on the ending you go for, there's a different like text-to-speech rap going on.
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cute.
It was a cute
I was
little
talking my
song
horn
there.
though. I was like, beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, and you
the
can
whole
watch
time.
some of the video for that stuff too.
Yeah.
This game is also on Steam with a bunch of really bizarre achievements.
Oh, I bet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
wow, really?
Yeah.
This would be a
cool.
good game for achievement hunting.
That's
It would,
really cool.
honestly.
Yeah. That's really cool. Xavier, you've been quiet over there. I have no idea what you're about to say.
Well, we know what he's about to say.
What is he gonna say? I have no idea. I can see him going completely either way on this.
Trash.
Nah,
He's gonna
I-
say trash for sure.
Hold on, let's play a game called Let's Guess Xavier's Opinion on this. I'm gonna guess that you enjoyed it. Knowing Xavier, your background did like music and some trippy shit. Like I feel like this is for you. Shout out to trippy shit. I feel isn't that a rapper? Isn't that a rapper's name out there? Something
It probably is.
It's Juicy
Probably.
J.
Juicy World, right? Juicy.
Oh yeah, Juicy J's always talking about getting trippy. For sure.
Sorry, my bad. Go ahead. Continue. Have to wait till 9.
Right.
No sponsorship this week. We can do whatever we want. It's
Right. We
completely.
get trippy, that's for sure.
Yeah, we can start doing. What is it? Are you guys talking about Juicy J from 36 Mafia? Is that who we're talking about? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
Michael, you're not that old. Stop. You know. You're like a kid sometimes. You're
I
not that
know.
old.
Isn't it funny that I try? Like, I'm one of the young folks that tries to act older. Like, I'm always like these young kids these days. Yeah.
Right? I'm only allowed to say that. I'm older probably than all of y'all.
We'll compare after the
I'm
stream.
an old lady. I look
Yeah, for
young.
sure.
That works for me then.
Oh my God.
Xavier, let us know. Anybody else want to guess about Xavier before he reveals?
I don't think he's gonna like it. I'm gonna say boo. I say boo.
I say yes.
I'm gonna say yes.
Layla, Alonzo?
No, he's not gonna like it. It's trash.
Damn.
I'm gonna say that he is gonna say yes, but he's gonna critique the mess out of it first.
I think Layla's ding ding ding. She probably has it.
Right.
Xavier, let us know.
All right, so it was all right. It was kind of cool. I didn't get to fully finish a full level. I got to the part where I became the deity's driver, and then he told me to go chill at my place at night and get him in the morning. I kind of stopped there. Didn't get a chance to finish, but definitely interesting game. I would play it again if I was inebriated, because that'd be the mood, just like to fuck around kind of thing. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't play it.
Xavier, I got a suggestion
Brad.
for you. Next time you're DJing, you should have this on a projector, like behind you. I think that would
Oh my
be
That would
so
work.
awesome.
Oh, 100%.
That would work. That would work.
100%,
Bro.
yeah.
And maybe
Okay. Well, how about you guys can play the game and we can put the image behind me,
yes.
and we can pick all the trippy games that you want, and then
Yes.
I'll DJ with that. But we have to
But
get.
we'll have Mike play though, because he's the best.
Thank
He
you.
probably went all
Legend,
pro
those were-
racer on here, right?
Those were your words, Legend.
where it's knocking on your door,
I'll take the trophy.
knocking your horn. Beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep.
I would be down to play for sure, and I think if we need more trippy games, then our friend Derivative is the source for.
Go to.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I should tell you all that there's another game. So
In this,
it's called Beauty Copter.
There's another driving game. They made another
Well,
one.
it's called Beauty Copter. You're working for a hotel, but you're on
Helicopter?
basically a pedal helicopter, and it's in 3D. So
Hold on. You
But
said
it's
a
very
pedal
similar
helicopter.
style.
That sounds very inappropriate.
we should. Is that also from? We should say this is from Graceless Games. Is that
Yep.
that's also from Graceless Games? I also like.
it's on itch as well. It's on itch
Nice.
and Steam. I think it's only $1 if I recall.
That's definitely one to check out. I do love Derivative how you said like this one's not that weird, and so
Did I?
it's like on the Derivative scale
Oh, the
of.
me scale. Yeah.
Oh, the Georgia. Yeah, no, it was a little. Like I've played some weird stuff, but this was just like, like.
I was gonna say, have any of you played games off of a site called Glorious Trainwrecks?
No.
There's an it's like a plug and play style game development thing called Click and Play.
Yeah.
That people used to just make these really like intentionally garbage games out of it. And this site Glorious Trainwrecks archives it all.
So it's like the Tommy Wiseau kind of room sort of thing?
Basically, it's like a, if you've got an interesting idea and you don't really want to learn how to code, throw it up on here. There'll be someone who'll play it. And
Okay.
It's usually me.
We might need to do an
Okay.
episode just about that, guys. That sounds pretty cool.
It sounds different.
This is what I love about Indie Game Club. We all have different opinions here. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, I'll play it, but I can't promise you nothing.
What you can promise is that you're going to tell us, your straight up opinion, which I definitely appreciate. That was Deity Driving from Graceless Games. Any last words on this, or can we jump to the fourth game of the night?
I'm ready.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
Ready.
The next game coming up is a little bit of, I think it's the tearjerker, if there is one, of the night.
Yes.
This, folks, is called Some Old Stuff. And I remember actually, let me change the title here so everybody's got it. This is a game that I would say you could probably beat in 15 minutes, I would say, depending on how. I think I took a little longer because I was like really trying to look at everything. I remember as soon as Alonzo, you finished playing this, I think you wrote on Facebook, you wrote like, "Hey Mike, like some old stuff broke me." do you want to?
Well, it completely broke me in half. I was not
All right.
for that.
Let us know. What are we talking here? Let the crowd know.
Oh, like with the game? Oh, so pretty much
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
game, he like this is his mom about to throw out some old stuff, and he looks through it, and as he puts a different thing up out of the box, there's a different memory attached to it, and he kind of relives them. To not spoil anything.
We're spoiler heavy here.
We're going to spoil everything.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love to spoil. That's the whole reason we started the
'cause
show.
Yeah, say it.
Yeah, he gets memories, and you replay his memories, and there's obviously this girl that he's known since he was a young man, and eventually it goes to where she moves, and then at the end you get like this letter that's hints at it from her, but you never know. But like pretty much the ups and downs of their relationship, and yeah, like the last for me the like I started knowing that this was gonna break me, and like I think it was like number 3 when they go for ice cream. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna cry.
At the theme park?
Sure, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that that's what this is about to do to me, and then you really get the tearjerks at the end when he leaves a present for her and she left. And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come back, no big deal."
Yeah.
And then
Do it.
like he lets it sit there for like one day, then like 2 or 3 days, and then the next time it's like 10 days. You're like,
That was really cool mechanically,
and it's
too.
just
That was a really cool example of basic mechanics where you're just like putting the gift there, taking it back, putting it there, taking it back. Really simple, but because of the quick like cuts. And actually, there is a game, Layla, you've played it. We haven't talked about this yet, but let's see if we're on the same page here. A game that we've had on Indie Game Club that you and I have both discussed that has this quick takes and this graphics and arguably probably a similar style and theme. Do you know what I'm thinking of? Uh-oh. Is Layla completely frozen here?
Okay.
frozen
Am I frozen?
solid.
Yes,
Am
you're
I
back.
still-
You're back though.
I'm okay. I
doing?
was like,
Do
okay, stop.
you know what game I'm talking? You know what game I'm talking about, Layla?
Yes. What was it? Has to do with Big Ocean.
Yep,
Little-
Wide Ocean, Big
Oh,
Jacket.
Wide
I
Ocean,
love
Big
the
Jacket.
game.
There we go. Yes.
This felt
Yes,
so much like Alonzo. You might want to check out Wide Ocean, Big Jacket if you want something similar. That's probably about like a 2-hour game, maybe something around those lines.
So like, kill me?
Will it kill you? Like with emotion? It's a different style.
Yeah.
I think it's an emotional game as well. Certainly, I definitely felt.
I
I
would say it's
love.
more heartwarming than heart wrenching.
That's a good way to describe it.
Oh, it's gonna catch you in the feels.
I loved it. I
Oh, wow.
absolutely loved it.
No, it was.
I've
It
seen
was.
this. Okay. I think I watched you play this.
You did, Alonzo. I remember. Yeah, it's a really cool game.
Yeah, this is a good game. Yeah.
So yeah, let's keep going on this one. What are other people's thoughts about this?
I couldn't dude, really letter come up. Let me touch hurry. The letter would just all slowly to the, and I was like, dude, just grab it, And
Yeah.
why are you taking so long? Because you knew it was from her, So it had that, you knew it. It was like just trigger.
How long
Take
did we
the
get an
letter.
indication
Build
how
up,
long
yeah.
ago that was? Like the letter from the last time they
It
saw
did
each other?
not. It did not give any indication as far as I would have to say maybe because they drank a beer together. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't really give
I'd
any
say it
indication.
was
They're
at
definitely
least,
young
at
adult,
least
maybe.
2 years. It's at least 2 years. Because it's old stuff, so it's something that he hasn't touched in a while.
That's
and she
right.
was gone for a whole year. She said that she would be back for her birthday. So a year had already gone by, and then those days were going by after that. And then
But they were drinking beer and still in school.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think
That's
that's
what kind of threw me off.
yes, so that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking. What really got me, because we all know I'm a feeler. I like to I like to feel how the characters are feeling,
Yeah.
or try to really
Sure.
get the message of visual novels, or of the type of gameplay that we've had on here with
Yeah.
the visual novels and whatnot. But I think that what broke me is whenever she got the letter from her mom saying that she wasn't coming back. I was like, oh, they about to go through some stuff. And then she stole the beer from her dad because her dad's an alcoholic, which
Yeah.
is probably why her
Yeah.
mom
Oh,
in the
no,
first
you just opened that.
So,
You just
see,
opened
but
this
that's
door
why.
to
So
me.
that it just all depends on you as a person, how you're viewing
Yes.
these games. Like me, I'm
Wow.
connecting all the stuff. I'm thinking that her mom left back to Japan, didn't come back to get away from her dad, who's an alcoholic, and then was saving up, setting up a life for herself so she can go get her daughter and bring her back. So
Yes.
That's exactly what I got. Yeah.
so that's where it broke me, because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, stuff's about to go down and they're not going to see each other.
Yeah.
So it really hit me when that letter came, and I was like, yay!
And for them to
Yeah.
deliver all of that a lot without saying it,
Yeah.
I think is super
Yeah.
powerful, right? Like you're
Oh,
able
yeah.
to pick those things up from a few lines of dialogue, especially from a childlike perspective. When she says, "Yeah, my dad won't even notice that this is gone." Like those little small truths coming out of a child's mouth or a teenager's mouth, really hit you hard. So yeah, I felt the same way about
That's
that.
amazing. I like
Yeah.
that. I'm glad I talked with you guys about because I would have never noticed that.
That's what Indie Game Club's about.
As soon as they had the out, you just knew it was just okay.
I thought that they were. I thought that they had grown up with each other when I saw them drinking. I was like, oh, so they're old enough to drink now. But no, they're not old enough to drink. They're just kids who.
Yeah.
It gives you that split second sort of moment, but then when she says, that he's not even going to notice, it's not even going to matter. That's when you kind of realize, okay, it's they're young. I thought, oh, adult, okay, they're drinking, they're going to celebrate these moments. That's why I thought at first it was oh, okay, this next milestone of us growing up together and being. But then as soon as you heard that, when you were like, oh, okay, mom took off. Yeah, exactly what Layla was saying.
Yeah.
I'm glad she got her though. I was happy in a sense whenever she was leaving, because she was already in the mindset where she was watching her father, so she could have been on a path where she was going to become an alcoholic if her mom didn't drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she was already screw it, my dad does this all day, so I'm gonna do it. So.
Yeah, some pretty deep stuff in a short package. Derivative, Xavier, you guys have been a little quiet there. What are your thoughts about this?
I mean, it was incredibly impressive, the way that it was able to again tell a story with so little dialogue, and the fact that it was a student project.
Yes,
this was just a group of NYU students who put this together.
Oh wow!
And was able to convey so much emotion out of it.
Yes.
I was tearing up in the stream. I'm not going to lie about that. I've got the receipts.
Yeah. Watch that stream. Get a clip of it. Get a clip right there. Yeah, we should say shout out to, hopefully I'm pronouncing these right, Hao Fan, Harry Chen, and Haku. The three designers, and also they said special thanks to Emmy Schaufeld for helping edit our English dialogue as well. So yeah, it's only been out for 90 days on Twitch, or sorry, on Itch. I'm reading right here. Yeah, you could almost tell that it was going to be one of those kind of experiences, like out the get-go.
Not so much when I played Deity Driving prior, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to just open this. Like, what the hell's in this box? I was like, really, another one? Because it was just this box. But then when you open it, and it just opened just a whole world of, just feeling. It was. I was like, oh, okay, I see you. I see you. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah.
Drizzt, I think this was one of your recommendations as well. So yeah.
That was another one I just happened to be playing that day.
Yeah. No, shout out for that for sure. Xavier. Xavier, do we need to guess? Are we having to guess your opinion on each of these? Are you waiting?
If you guys want, no, I was just waiting my turn.
Let me think. I'm thinking you enjoyed this, Xavier. I feel like all of us enjoyed it. I feel like you can't help but enjoy, or at least take something away from here. You can argue that this game doesn't have anything deep mechanically, that it's very linear. Sure, that's all true. But this is a heartfelt 15-minute experience. So. Xavier, hit us with it. Tell us how much you hated the game, just the contrast here, and how your soul is so cold, and
then tell us which ice cream flavor she picked.
Yes, exactly.
Right. I want to know. You have to tell me. I want to know.
I want to do that. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Xavier. I've been waiting patiently.
What ice cream you pick? Number one.
Which one, Xavier?
I'll go backwards. So I picked mango for her.
That's what I did, my friend.
And then because I wasn't sure what she was gonna want.
The ladies love mango. Okay, sorry.
And then I took the Oreo. And then so
dude, I think I did the same thing.
The mango.
Nice.
Oh, typical. Yeah.
But
yeah, I did Oreo and matcha.
I did matcha and taro.
I
did taro for myself because I knew that, like, if I was actually with a woman, I would want to look more cultured.
Yes.
Taro,
right.
Oh.
That's literally why I picked it. I picked it because her mom was in Japan and everyone. So I was like, oh, we're gonna go with the matcha. Where's the boba tea? Like,
I did the taro for her. And then I did the matcha for him, and then they ended up, it was cute. And they were like, switch it. And I was like, you took my ice cream.
right. I wanted the matcha too.
I love it. I think a pro relationship tip is to let your significant other choose both flavors. I would say, because they're gonna try them anyway, right? So you might as well. That's my stance on it all. All right, Xavier, we know what ice cream you chose. Now let us know what your thoughts were about the game.
I wanted to burn my house down.
What? What does that mean?
Told you.
No, I'm just kidding. I enjoyed it. It had a lot of relatable moments, even moments that I didn't want to think about. But yeah, the game was definitely, like, the mechanics and everything was to the point. I don't think there was any real way to confuse it as anything more than this is the story it's trying to tell, kind of thing. And I enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah.
Nice.
It seems like we were all in pretty solid agreement about this one. Any critiques?
I was really happy about it.
Does anybody want to give a hot take? Where's Amar when we need him? Amar, are you there? We need you to tell us.
Hot take in regards to what?
Well, I'm just wondering if there's anything people didn't like about or any other things they would want to change about it or anything. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't like that there was a treehouse that I couldn't go into.
That's true.
Yeah, I was upset about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were,
Did not like
I was like, why you gotta make me climb up this crypt to look at, like, 2 rabbits? We could be drinking in the treehouse. Let's draw a rabbit.
With the rabbit too, like.
Good mom
Also,
and daughter, yeah.
She drew something, but she drew it on the cap, right? I thought she was gonna draw it.
That was really
Yeah,
cute,
Right on the
though.
inside of the cap.
That was really
She drew it on
cute.
the cap, though.
Mhm.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
It gives you a good glimpse of their personalities too, with like little things like that, right? The fact that she did it that way, the fact the little dialogue, how she was talking about, this being like a special moment, their first time trying beer and not liking it all. There was a lot of little cute little dialogue.
And she
like
called
that.
him like her boyfriend, and he was like,
Yeah.
I'm not. You're like, nah, dude, you are.
Yeah, cute.
We stole the Game Boys for him too. Like that was.
Yes.
I was like, oh, she's a ride or die too. Like that.
That's
Right, yeah, dude.
Yeah, and fuck those other kids that were making fun of your cube boy. Like screw those little.
Yeah.
I play the hell out of a cube boy.
Yeah, Cube Boy's
sure.
where it's at for sure. Shout out to Cube Boy.
It kind of reminded me, like, up in New York, they had, like, those really cheesy games. It had, like, 3,000 games in one kind of thing. That's what
Yep.
it kind of reminded me.
Yeah.
Oh, one sec. My wife is. Sorry, very professional interruption. Real quick.
We need intermission music. Or
I mean,
pause.
here, my wife is literally asking if we could just pause the stream.
For 30 seconds.
Go for it, babe. Do whatever you gotta do.
I'll show him
I don't
this
wanna
then.
be on the camera.
You don't want to be on the camera? I don't know if I can adjust this.
You can't push pause.
But, I mean, here, hold on. Let me just block it with my body, everybody.
Yeah,
you guys
block
can
it with
keep
your
talking.
big blue-
And I,
Oh, don't mind me. I'm
You know
just
what
trying to
that
get our
sounds like? That
children
sounds
ready
like-
for bed. No biggie. Don't mind me.
Michael, you know what pause the stream sounds like? That sounds like when your mom comes in when you're playing like Xbox, playing like Halo 2, and she's like, pause the game. You're
Dude,
like,
that's
a lot, Mom. I can't pause the game.
that is my wife and my mother are the same person in that regard. She's like, "Are y'all playing?"
On
You know,
the stream, I gotta make a phone call.
yeah. She's always like, "Are y'all playing Pokemans?" Or like, and she'll just be like, somebody chooses Kirby, and she's like, "That's a really cute Pokemans," and like, it's just, oh god, yeah.
I say Pokemon to this day just about bother people.
Yes,
Yes.
fact. That's right.
Yeah, after
Catching in
you-
Pokemon. all the time.
After you turn 25 is Pokemans, no matter.
And then
what
I get
kind of-
mammed.
Pikachu's, or she thinks all the Pokemons are Pikachu's.
That's a cute Pikachu.
I'm sorry, I don't know who was even talking and making a point before that. Xavier, were you saying something? I think.
No, I finished pretty much.
I'm sorry.
We're all agreeing about not being able to go into the treehouse.
Yes.
Right.
Super disappointed in the developer.
Why even have it there if I can't go in it? She just wants to climb a cliff to look
Yeah.
at. I mean, I get the symbolism of it, like I do, but still, like, you drink beer in a treehouse. You don't drink it by rabbit statues.
I still want a treehouse.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Facts.
Shout out to tree houses.
Now they just make those teepees you have inside your home.
I just want a big, bougie treehouse.
A tree village, like the Ewoks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to a tree village.
Have you guys
do
seen
that
that
on our-
commercial about the
we do
credit
it on-
card where there's like this treehouse thing and they have like, it's like a little
Yeah,
Ewok
all the
village?
lights.
Yes!
I have
was
not
like,
seen
wanna
that
Google
commercial,
when
but
I
now I
was
do want to. Please send us that our way for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a
We're gonna
second.
have a big tree village on Conan Exiles, just in case y'all wanted to know.
Oh, nice.
Okay, really?
Shout out to
Like,
Conan
yeah.
Exile. Amar is back in the building. Amar, here we go. He said y'all need more hot
Hot
takes. Oh, his hot take is he says I like Michael with a wink face. I like that. I like that.
That is the spiciest
I love
takes.
it. Yes, appreciate it. I'm winking back at you right here. Andre
Yeah.
Arcade.
Beer?
What's that?
I was reading the chat.
Oh, sorry.
Beer man was like, "Did I hear beer?" And I was like, "Possibly. I'll be right back."
We have Andre Arcade. Shout out to Andre Arcade. Thanks for jumping in again. I remember you from a couple weeks ago. I remember you were in the stream. Appreciate it so much. Said you can't push pause. Pokemon. I love it. I love it. And Amar saying y'all must have gotten some really good games to be enjoying all of them. This game looks pretty. Yeah, for sure. I think
Oh,
Amar, I think you would like
we're
it.
not gonna talk
Check the
about
one
that.
that should not be mentioned.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
I think Amar would like that.
I like.
Honestly, didn't play that last one, but I'm not going to say the name so we can continue this. So
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna call it out. It's cool. I'm straight because then we'll end up talking about it, and I don't want to do it.
I for one enjoyed it. Me and Derivative are in the Deity Driving camp, and I guess Layla too, to an extent. Awesome. So we got I guess any other last thoughts about some old stuff other than recommending people bring tissue, I guess, with it. Any other thoughts?
Tissue,
I'm just happy it was
absolutely.
recommended. I was
Mhm.
happy with it. It's
Yeah.
very refreshing for me. I haven't played I don't think we've done a visual novel like that in
Yeah, I
in
know
a
you
minute.
love those.
Far From Noise, I think, was the last one.
True.
I do love those.
I like that one. I played that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bust out some more soon for sure. Shout out to Johnny in the Twitch chat saying he's mine first. You can all share in the love. I'm here for the family, for everybody. Michael loves the kids, as they say. Let's see. Our final game of the night, folks, is Guardian Sphere. Let's throw that up here. Let me change the title. This game is a bit more, I guess, standard in some way. In some ways, it's a shmup, a shoot 'em up. If you're familiar with those games, your Ikarugas, your Gradius, things of that nature. The thing that I think differentiates this game is that the spheres that you collect double as your health and as a currency for upgrades. I played through this whole game with my son. I loved it. I think it's awesome. I would love to see this one in our arcade cabinet as well. Folks, what are your thoughts about this one?
I
I
didn't
like
finish it, but I liked it. I like the whole Mega Man style artwork. I thought that was pretty cool. And I think I was reading that this was part of like a game jam, and the theme
Yeah,
was
Ludum Dare.
using your life as currency or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely pretty cool that they came up with this.
Yeah, so it was Ludum Dare. Let me confirm, because there's two versions of Ludum Dare. There's the competition version, and then there's the just submission.
Gotcha.
But it's a very, very fast game jam.
Yeah, it's like just a weekend typically, isn't it?
I think the competition is 3 days, and
Yeah.
the other one's like 5.
Gotcha. Yeah, the theme being your life is currency. Ludum Dare 44. And we should shout out to the developers here. Pixel Boy is, I think he's over in France, and I believe it was also done. I think it's a family affair, if I read correctly. That I believe his brother does some of the graphics as well. I need to confirm all this stuff. But if you look at Pixel Boy's itch page, there's a lot of amazing games in this style, and I can't wait to dig further into those. Yeah, what else did you guys? I want to hear from everybody else on this too. What are you guys thinking on this one?
I liked this one. I had a lot of fun playing this one and I didn't even rage playing it. So
Nice.
Like, it was good for me. I liked the fact that I think in between you shooting things. First of all, it took me forever to figure out how to shoot. I don't know why. I guess I kept trying to press like spacebar to shoot, and it was not spacebar. It was C, and I was like, okay. But I like the fact that you can go to the stores like in between to upgrade your stuff. You're not having to like freak out and kill things to try to upgrade. You can literally just go right to the store.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I liked that. It stopped me from getting frustrated, so I got to just casually play it. And it was great.
Did you get frustrated like at the whole idea of, again, your life being currency? I thought that was really interesting because you got to decide, am I going to, there's that awesome upgrade I want that would really help me, but it would bring my life down to 1 or something, and I could easily die potentially after that. Like, there's a lot of trade-off there. I thought that balance, if it's a type of frustration, almost like a Dark Souls frustration, where at the end of the day you blame yourself for it versus the game. Did you all feel that way as well about that?
I just made sure I had enough spheres to blow up whatever and collect them all back right away.
Yeah.
So,
I spent every dollar or every sphere I could every
Yep.
time I got
Yep.
in there. I'm like, I'm gonna spend it all and then take the
how
risk.
many upgrades can I buy?
Exactly. Exactly. That is totally
Yeah.
what I did for sure. Did any of you guys play the multiplayer on this?
No.
No.
It was really solid. I played it with my son. It was a little difficult to read everything because there was so much going on the screen, but I really loved it. Dirigid, if you were going to say something?
Yeah, if I had one minor nitpick about it was that the bullets were a little too large. It seemed like the enemy ones. I mean, I've played a number of shmups before, and usually there's some good indicator of what is going to be registered as a hit.
Sure.
And I mean, you've had the large bullets, but you also didn't have that indicator of like. So like if you look at a shmup, even like a bullet hell, there's a lot going on, but there's always like this little icon like in the middle of your ship that you know this is actually the spot that if you get hit there, it's going to kill you.
Mm.
And you didn't really get that with that. So like there was a number of times where I thought I was going to get hit because I was clearly over, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So that kind of threw me off a little bit. But yeah, solid game. Regardless of that, could not finish the last level. That last boss was rough.
It was rough. It was rough. I mean, I'm not very good at games like these, so I had an interesting time playing. I agree with Layla. Like, it would have been nice for you to just how to play the game, because I was like, enter shift spacebar. Like, what am I supposed to do? Do I click it? Like, what's going on?
I even went to controls and nothing popped up.
Yeah. Nothing at all. I was so confused, and then I was like, oh, so because there are a few games similar to this style that do have T-Ash shoots. I was like, okay, like, of course I didn't think of it.
I
like
want to
last
say it
minute. I was
supports
like,
controller, if I remember correctly.
It does.
Yeah.
I played on controller.
yeah, I didn't play. I think I probably would have had a better mobility. If
I
used
think this
controller.
plays better on controller.
Yeah,
and I should say,
there's some games with this style that just have a better feel controller versus keyboard. But I didn't mind the keyboard. It wasn't once you figured out how to use it. It was fun. I liked it definitely. In Metroid, I loved the graphics. I liked the different characters that you could play, and you're right, dude. Upgrade.
yeah.
Upgrade.
The upgrades were cool, and they definitely made you feel like a badass as you kept on growing.
Yes, I liked it.
And
I
the
liked how they
screen was
stacked out
covered.
good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I really love the color palette. I will say the color palette also maybe contributed a little to that effect that Derivative was saying, or I guess adjacent to what you were saying in terms of like parts of it were a little hard to read sometimes. And I know obviously the enemy's fire was red, but the enemy colors and different types sometimes got a little hard to read, especially two players, as you can imagine, like once they're upgraded.
Yeah.
That combined with the narrow field of view, it made it really kind of tough in that sense.
Yeah, true. But the character styles, like everything, I was super satisfied. This just felt like a solid product from start to finish.
Yeah, it gave me like it gave me a like Steven Universe-ish like vibes with like the characters.
My son said
like,
the same thing.
I liked the I love the character style. I totally dig it. But you're right about the colors. Some were a little like the blues and the greens, I think, kind of melded into each other. Too cool of a palette, I think.
Yeah.
Is what it was. But yeah, I liked it. It was fun. It was fun. And I don't generally like games like this. They're not because I'm horrible at it, so that's why I don't like it. But it was good. It was good.
I do wish we saw more games in general. I mean, with like a different color palette like this. Shmups in general kind of have that space, sci-fi, darkish feel. Typically, not all of them by any means, but this one was like a brighter color palette that I would like to see.
Oh yeah,
more.
there's a whole world of what are they call them? Cute 'em ups. With the bright colors, yeah.
I don't know if I'm say it again.
Cute 'em ups.
Shoot 'em ups, like
Shoot 'em
cute.
Yeah.
Shoot 'em ups.
Yeah.
I may have played some. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, you get into like even the realm of some of the bullet hells. Yeah, like where it's just the bright colors.
I'm down for
lot of
some
anime.
shoot 'em ups.
For some reason.
Well, Wow.
I like cute 'em ups. That's a cute little name right there. I love that.
It makes me think of like the gotcha, like a gotcha shooter. That's what I'm picturing in my head right now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check some of those out. We might have a upcoming cute 'em up episode. That would be pretty cool.
That would be cute. That'd be cute. I'd be down. I'd like to see your guys' opinion on a cute 'em up.
I'm totally. Oh, look at. I mean, I got the cute little outfit going on right here. Of course, I'm gonna like little.
I want to know if you have the cookies.
I got the fooling out right now.
I thought the middle finger was happening.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just glad I'm wearing clothes on underneath this. All right.
I was actually expecting a cookie. You should hide one.
Right.
I should.
Just keep one handy. That'll be your thing.
Yes,
I might have to start doing that.
Eat the Layla cookies.
Where the cookies at? Xavier, the suspense is killing me. You're saving yourselves for last. Are we going to have to vote again here? On
I already said some stuff. I like the game. I just didn't get to finish it.
Yeah.
And I definitely would have enjoyed it more, I think, with co-op.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think this would be cool. And I know, Alonzo, you didn't get a chance to play this one, but I think of the ones we played, this would definitely be one of the top ones for you, knowing your play style. And definitely recommend you check this one out in the future for sure.
Yeah, it definitely seems like an Alonzo game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would agree. I think you'd like it. We chose the same ice cream. We're like friends now.
I love that we all have like personality types now, like what type of gamers we are.
Yeah, I do. I think
I'm surprised that you ever chose the same ice cream for sure.
You hipsters in your
I
car.
am.
You hipsters.
I thought that the game looked like the type of game that I would want to play. I'm actually really hyped that Ikaruga has a PS4 version coming out with I think limited run.
Yeah.
So like,
oh yeah,
gonna be playing the hell out of that. So I would have liked this game for sure.
Yeah, Ikaruga was one of the first games that I actually turned my old CRT TV on its side in order to play it in vertical mode. I really loved it.
I've never played that. I never knew you could play that game in horizontal.
Yeah,
mode.
I actually had it at like one of the earliest Potions and Pixels. I busted out a CRT TV and tipped it on its side. I was like terrified it was going to fall on somebody, but fortunately it didn't.
Version had it that way? I thought the GameCube was top.
It was, but just like this, you know how like a lot of these games kind of narrow the field of view. Like if you guys remember that one game that we played, that game that I was really obsessed with. It was the one button shmup.
Yeah, I got it.
What is it? Layla, you raged at this really quick. You know what I'm talking about. Switch and shoot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And that allowed you to rotate your whole screen as well. And I think Amar actually, Amar mentioned that, and I followed his lead on that one for sure. Speaking of Amar, he just wrote, "Today I learned Cookie Monster has a Twitter." In quotes, he's saying, here's a quote from Cookie Monster's Twitter. "Me just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% Cookie."
Oh, that's cute.
I love it.
That's cute.
Way to get political, Cookie Monster.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
I thought I was about to. Okay, I could say so many things. Oh, just you know when you're about to say something and you're not sure if it's gonna like cancel you.
But I
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm about to say something. I'm like, wait a second, that's about to get really sexual. Let me just reverse it back to something totally different. Yeah, reel it back in. People won't get your humor, Michael.
Oh my god. I cannot. I'm waiting for 9 o'clock.
I'm sweating here. Well, yeah, I think so overall, I think we really love these games this week. How do you guys feel about like us? I guess this is a question to our guest here as well as those watching. How do you guys feel about the whole idea of kind of doing these kind of episodes with like shorter games, like these 15-minute or around that style? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I can dig that.
Yeah, I like both. I like maybe, we could do like one or if a game is long, you know what I mean? Because there are some indie games that are really good, like Last Day of June. I mean, it's not a long game, but it's games that have a good storyline.
We might have to do that one soon. Actually, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I've been
or we could
playing
feel.
Hades.
Oh, what?
Say that, Xavier?
It's gonna make you cry.
I've been playing Hades.
Oh yeah, I still haven't played it yet.
That one's been really fun. I definitely recommend it.
That looks fantastic. The super giant
Any game
giant
that's
game, right?
free, I'm down to play it for sure.
Yeah, we've done a lot of good
there.
free games on here. I think that's been really good for sure. Have you guys discovered anything through Indie Game Club that, like, Layla was saying she kind of found out through Indie Game Club that she likes visual novels, for example? Have you guys, like, through all these games that we've been playing over the course of these few months, or if you followed them, like, have you discovered any genres that you now like, or stuff that you realize you don't like?
I mean, that definitely is it for me. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely am not. I only played like maybe one visual novel, which it wasn't even a visual novel. It was close to it, but that was it. I hadn't really played them before until we started playing them on Indie Game Club, and now I'm just like, I was so happy. It was so refreshed
Love
to
it.
like play one again this week.
I
So.
love it. What about you all, Derivative, and in your experience with all these kind of wild and obscure and unique games? Anything you've discovered you really like, and stuff, and some things you don't like?
I'm just happy there's more people to share these weird games with.
Yes. I feel ya.
Like when you're in that Twitch bubble, you're like,
Yeah.
they're not recommending you. You're trying to fight for your own thing. It's like, no, it's refreshing to see other people interested in these things.
Yeah. No, that's a great
Yeah,
point.
that's cool. That's true. That's true. I've played indies long enough. I already know what I like, what I don't like. So usually, like
Yeah.
when you send me the list, I'm always like,
But you know what, a Legend, sometimes you like even surprise.
I do get pleasantly
yourself.
surprised. So
I remember,
that-
what was a roguelike game that we played early on that you're not the biggest fan of roguelikes, but you...
Oh, it was Neon Abyss.
Neon Abyss.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan. There's a few that I really like Atomic Crops or Cat Lady. I like those. And Neon Abyss was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was different.
Yeah, for sure.
It was different. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good mix. I know what I don't like, but I think with the differences in games that we do play, it just gives you a second opinion, I think, on some, because usually if you don't like a game, it's a roguelike. You're just like, oh, I'm not going to play it just simply because of that, because you already know you're not going to like it. You already played that one. You don't like, so it's nice to be able to just sort of like play these types of games again that I'm not really sure of, and just be like, oh, okay, you changed my mind a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And Amar actually, he wrote a few things here on Twitch. He said Hades Game of the Year. He also wrote short games are the best for Potions and Pixels for sure. Try out a lot of genres and possibly like games and genres I don't like. He said Art School challenged me for sure and surprised others liked it, to be honest. Art School is a wild one for sure. Definitely for those.
I saw that one. I really want to play the pizza situation. I think it looks so good.
Yeah,
I
saw you sent me that.
bad. I sent it to you because I was like, yo, go play this game. Because your whole objective is to keep people away from like pizza. Like, it's awesome. Like at a party in school, yeah. And it's like you got to text and you got to deceive people, and it looks good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, folks, send us your recommendations for sure. There's so many awesome indie games, and we love playing these. Xavier, Alonso, anything you guys have discovered that you found out that you love, or stuff that you might have found that you're not interested in?
So with it's really hard for me to like keep up with Indie Game Club because I'm like really busy a lot of the time, and I was able to actually sit down and play this week's games. So I really haven't found like a genre or something that is newly discovered for me through playing, but hopefully be able to play more, especially if I'm starting to get Thursdays off again. Because what I liked to do before was I kind of play the games before I would watch.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would either check into your stream while you were playing them.
Yeah.
So that was my way of like kind of connecting the few weeks that I was like kind of spending as much as I could.
Yeah.
But this week, hopefully there's more weeks like this where I can sit down and play all the games you have coming up.
For sure, man. Yeah, we're super glad you're able to join this week, and hopefully, yeah, you'll get some more Thursdays off coming up. Xavier, how about you, my friend? What are your thoughts about some of the indie experiences you've had?
Well, as far as finding different genres that I like or not, for video games, it's kind of been hard for me to look at games just based on genre, since there's so much and there's a lot of different variants. I usually think about, when I look at games, especially indie games, I think about more of like the mechanics and whatnot. And that's kind of how I judge a game, and I judge them pretty much by the individual elements, like whether I like the art or not. Is the story cohesive, and do I like the story, and are the mechanics fun? If I would change something, would I? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think I've gone that route because I did go to CPCC for the video game design and simulation program.
Yeah.
And I've gone to several game conventions and talked to different professionals and whatnot. So, as far as video games, I don't think I've really figured out a specific genre, or at least in indie games, that I like.
Yeah.
In general, I like RPGs and action adventure games. On the other side, with Potions of Pixels, I have had that experience more with board game. And I like social deception games, but I've gotten tired of them pretty fast. But I'm liking this this stuff like Among Us that's getting pretty big and whatnot, and seeing that fusion of ideas that came from board games come into the digital realm.
I'm a little hipster about that, because I hope that
I was there.
Yeah,
I played before it even.
Yeah, you and I are in the same boat there, and I love that more people are getting involved in social deduction for it. I just hope that there's not that situation where then an Among Us player plays like a social deduction board game, and they're like, "This was a copy of Among Us" or something. You know what I mean? Those little moments, and you're just like, "You little shit! This came out 10 years before that game." Yeah, you know what's going to happen. But I'm so glad that Among Us has made it mainstream, because social deduction was a term you really only talked about among the board game community. And now it's something that has become mainstream, so that we can now create new layered experiences, and people, you can say, well, you're familiar with Among Us? All right, that's the base level. Now add this new content to it and see what type of, shenanigans ensue or whatever. So I totally feel you in that for sure. We have Amar saying the cats versus dogs episode had too many cat haters for his taste. I think I might have been among the cat haters there. Team dog all day for sure. Yeah, we'll have to continue. We'll see. We might have a mix of some of the shorter stuff, some of the longer stuff here, and please do send us your recommendations for any games. We'll try to sift through it all and see what we'll play. And I think Legend, you and I were chatting a bit, trying to make maybe some more positive games during the holidays.
I let's go back to this list thing we were talking about earlier.
She's got the notebook out.
I scrolled through. I gotta find the page. I scrolled through the itch.io, whatever, and I made
Nice.
I've got that. I have all these. I mean, most of them are demos. They're going to be some of these are really short, but they look cute and wholesome, because with the holidays and this crazy stuff going on, you know what I mean? I thought something, more wholesome than.
I totally agree. Speaking of not wholesome, Omar, actually, when you busted out your notebook, he wrote Death Note on there.
Maybe. I have lots of notebooks. I have a drawer full, so who knows? I just
it's out there sometime. Awesome.
If you ever want to see total whiplash, look at my wanna playlist on itch.io.
Yes, definitely.
Really? I started making little collections.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
good idea. Everybody should do. I started doing collections of what I've played, actually, based on Dirigitive's recommendation there, just so I can keep track of all this stuff and just even
Yeah.
remember.
I have it like for ideas for content and stuff. I have it listed like demos, what I want to play, what I'm interested in. That way I could do more research on it and
Yeah,
stuff.
same here. I'm starting to break that down. We got a comment here from reporting from 20XX on Twitch saying indies were something that surprised me when I jumped on my first few on the 360, but also have consistently held the shock factor. The innovation, creativity, and general fun that indies are allowed to be that AAAs can't take a chance on is refreshing. Here.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is. And like most of the indie games that I usually get are like scrolling through Facebook, like you find like the craziest things on there, or even Instagram, because analytics. But like there's that one game that I sent you that looks really good, especially if you're into shooters. It's Scavengers, and they have this test available that you can actually apply for that's on Facebook, and I got the links and stuff, and it's very like, I want to say like Apex DayZ sort of style. Like it's three team, PvP, but you're not just like having to like fight other players. There's like NPCs and it's an indie. And like I was like, I'm like, okay, and it looks just as good as like any AAA like game. And the concept of it, I thought was.
Do you remember the title of that one?
Like it was good. It's called Scavengers.
Scavengers, that's right.
Yeah, I linked you.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. I appreciate that for sure.
I was like, you gotta try this.
Yeah,
it's so
I'm
cool.
looking forward to trying that. So now that my computer is back in working order here.
Yeah, I agree. Like indies are so
that.
innovative, and I'm just like we were talking about earlier with the consoles and stuff. Like I'm just, that is what people are missing. Is that there are indie games that just are really, even if they're just innovative. Don't judge a game by its looks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you think about it. A lot of the really popular genres right now came from an indie game taking a chance.
Absolutely.
You look at how survival horror games are right now. They're all following the Amnesia: The Dark Descent feel.
Yeah.
That's past that, it was your tank control survival horror, Resident Evil, and now Resident Evil 7 is basically Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Yeah, I mean everything from like kind of battle royale mechanics. I mean you can trace a lot of these hardcore games. The DayZ Arma mods. You can trace a lot of the Dota auto chess stuff. There's so many things. I mean even crafting itself. The whole idea of crafting and survival mechanisms are definitely pulled from the indie side. Reporting from 20XX also said, Potions and Pixels would love to see you dig out Braid. I absolutely love Braid, and I think that's a good shout out to that era. I think that was really probably considered, I think historically, the biggest breakthroughs for indies to the mainstream. I would say about 2008, where you had Braid, Castle Crashers, World of Goo. You had this like series of games that really it hit like mainstream in a big way, followed by like Super Meat Boy Fez, like another wave of kind of bigger games like that. So for sure, actually Braid isn't the Braid Anniversary, the remaster. That's being worked on right now by Jonathan Blow and company. So I definitely wouldn't mind checking that out for sure. Awesome, folks. Well, we're right at about time. Appreciate you all so much, everybody here, not only as guests, but also to our amazing viewers, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. I am going to make one quick announcement for you all. This coming Wednesday, Potions and Pixels and the City of Charlotte, with the planning department, are hosting a event called Gaming for Charlotte. Definitely, we'd love for you to check it out. It's a new game that yours truly designed. It's an opportunity to learn about the Charlotte Future 2040 plan, our plans for Charlotte by the year 2040. I actually recently played with Alonzo here, and we had a really good time playing it. And definitely shout out to Xavier here on the stream, who also joined in the last event. So if you are interested in this event, November 18th, 6:30 to 8 o'clock, it's on Zoom. Please register. You can find the information on our social media pages. You do need to register on Eventbrite to jump in, so would love to have you there. Awesome. Well, before we go, would you guys mind just telling folks where they can find more information about you and the organizations you're involved in? Let's start with you, Alonzo. Tell the folks them social media digits.
Okay. So my most important ones, I guess, would be our.
I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry.
So media digits, okay.
Yeah.
So New Challengers 2, I believe, is how you'll find the new channel. We're on Twitter and on Instagram. I think it's also. I'm actually gonna look that up, so I'm not giving out wrong information right now. It's gonna take literally 2 seconds.
While you're doing that, we should say you hosted a really good social distance
Oh
tournament.
yeah,
Congratulations on
Oh,
that.
nice.
yeah. It was a very social distance tournament. We had 3 setups. They were all 6 feet apart, and we did back to back, so the players aren't sitting right next to each other,
Yeah.
and we also had handstanding for arcade sticks and joysticks, and yeah. So, and we're gonna do another one.
Nice.
It's, and I think next month, but it's gonna be even less people. So yeah, I was right. It was New Challengers NC 2 for all of our social media stuff. Would be Instagram and Twitter, right? That's what it's called when you do the certain
The tweets
numbers.
with the kids.
Yes, that one.
The tweeting and the TikToking and all that good stuff. Yeah, I hear you. Love it. Yeah, make sure to follow Alonso Set Play, New Challengers, all the amazing tournament organizing work he's doing. Let's clap it up for Alonso. Thanks so much for being here. Looking forward to you hopefully coming on again soon, man. Always love having you for sure.
Let you know that right now.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh no, I was saying I'm gonna check my work schedule and make sure I can be here next week.
For sure. Love it. Love it. Love it. Layla, let him know. Let him know the social media digits, as I refer to them.
Social media digits. Yeah. It is angelic_Layla on all platforms, I believe. On gaming. My bad. It's Angelic Layla together on social media. So that's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. You can find me in the Athena Alliance as one of the Stream Team goddesses, as well as Legend. You're underneath me in the Discord. So
I'm over here. You're on the bottom left of my screen.
Oh, you are right underneath me. Okay, yeah, me and Legend. But and also I'm also one of the ambassadors for the Gamers, and you can see all my modeling and all that stuff, cosplays on my Instagram as well. So thank y'all in advance for the follows, and I appreciate y'all for having me on Indie Game Club. I'm happy we're back. And that's
Absolutely.
it.
Love it. Thank you, Layla. Let's clap it up for Layla. Always appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Awesome. Derivative. Let them know how they can check out that premium indie quality content.
All right. I'm Derivative. That's DIRIGITIVE. A lot of eyes, I know. Find me on Twitch. I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 p.m. You like weird, obscure, overlooked, underrepresented games, please check me out. I'm also on Twitter, same name. Not going to say it again. Yeah, and I'm always looking for, if you find some odd games, I'm always looking for more suggestions. Either hit me up on Twitter, post it on my Twitch. I'm open for it.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you, Derivative. And I hope you'll come back soon too, because I always love these conversations, and whenever you're down,
absolutely,
please, anytime we would love. We'll talk more about hopefully making this work on a regular. Let's clap it up for Derivative for sure.
Yay.
Xavier, tell us how we can follow you and Full Time Geeks and all the cool stuff you're doing in the community, man.
All right, so for Full Time Geeks, you can pretty much just look that up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We're mostly active on Facebook. We also have a Discord and a website by same name, so just look it up. It should be pretty easy. So black and white shield with the letters FTG on it. If you want to see your game with me, my gamer tag is Cyberpunk0x or Nomad0x. If you want to look at food pictures that I take, then that's Cyberpunk0x on my Instagram. And if you want to listen to my music,
Now it's getting sexy. What's in the food pictures?
Can you drop
Yeah.
your Instagram in the chat, please?
Yeah, drop them steamy food pictures in the chat for sure.
See all the food.
all right.
Yeah. Something tells me our based on our food tastes are going to be a little different here, but I'm still looking forward to some of these pics.
That's say his OnlyFans picture.
Yeah, man, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Man, you took the words after everybody was done. After Legend, I was gonna tell everybody my OnlyFans page where they can find me. If you're into premium furry OnlyFans content,
They're out there, so don't. Say
I'm
that.
sure.
Don't hold what you're saying too lightly.
I didn't realize OnlyFans was so big. I am that like naive sweet boy who's like, what? People are doing that on the internet?
On the internet?
They're using their powers for evil? No, I'm
What
just
time is it? Okay. We're 4 minutes over. Okay, good. Where's 9 o'clock? I was like, hold up.
Yeah, Amar saying OnlyFans Cookie Monster. Yeah, I mean, I'd pay for that content. But yeah, drop that. Oh, you know what, Xavier? For some reason, the links our bot is really a link hater, as they say. So maybe you can like actually drop the link and just write .com in between, and then that'll work. Yeah. Legend, get us back into maturity territory.
On the
Wait,
internet.
the maturity? I don't think you. Have you seen me stream? Have you seen my content? I don't know. I don't know.
Tell us how people can find you and watch and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I stream usually during the week. You can find me on Twitch at Legend of the Star. It's LGND. Of the Star. I stream about 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't hold me to it. I do always tweet out when I'm live. That I'm actually pretty consistent with. And again, you can reach me on the same name, Legend of the Star. Saturdays and Sundays are sort of like a bonus stream. But I play all kinds of indies. If you guys have any suggestions, you're more than welcome to hit me up on any of the social media platforms and like offer them to me. I will play it. I don't know if I'll like it, but I'll play it. I'll be nice when I give my opinion.
I love it. No, that's we appreciate the honesty. All right, let's clap it up for Legend. We love that honest indie approach for sure. Yes, Xavier's got the Instagram up there. Amar asked about the board game if it's for sale. You know what, Amar? It's actually free. You can get this little cellophane wrapped copy right now. There's different events that the city is hosting and giving it out. So there are quite a bit of copies out in existence, so I'll definitely let you know so you can get it. Yeah, that was awesome, folks. Really enjoyed having everybody here. You can follow us, Potions and Pixels, on all sorts of things, at Michael Zytkow if I'm ever posting on social media, which I really don't myself. And if you all stick around for 1 second, because we're going to continue our tradition of raiding another channel, I actually see that our friend here, Johnny, with reporting from 20XX, is on right now. He jumped from the chat over to stream. So let's go over, and as we sign off here, let's go raid over to his channel and show him some love as we